ചോദ്യകർത്താക്കളുടെ പേര് പറയുന്ന സമയത്ത് അവിടെ നിന്ന് എഴുന്നേറ്റ് നിന്നാൽ നന്നാവുമെന്ന് കരുതുന്നു. ആദ്യം 5ഓളം ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ഒരുമിച്ച് ചേർത്താണ് അത് ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. നിത്യശ്രീ പാലക്കാട് നിന്ന്, വിഷ്ണു പ്രസാദ് തൃശ്ശൂർ.
If they are present, kindly identify yourself so that others also can see.
The first question is,
please.
What other platforms does the Sangh provide besides the Shakha activities to professionals and students who want to actively participate in nation building? Secondly, what leadership qualities should young professionals cultivate to contribute meaningfully to society beyond their careers? Third one, what is the guidance given by the Sangh to the new generation to hold on the Sanatan values amidst the changing technology and lifestyle of the modern era? Fourth, as the Sangh completes 100 years of service, what guidance would you offer to students and young leaders to uphold discipline, constitutional values, and constructive nationalism in increasingly polarized and conflict-prone campus environments? And the fifth one, RSS has played a great role in shaping disciplined citizens with a strong sense of civic responsibility and national vision. I am asking this because technology and innovation have taken an unprecedented leap in the last decade, significantly changing the lifestyle and mindset of the younger generation. While today's youth do have values, many find it difficult to connect with traditional Shakha formats. Has the Sangh considered adapting the format or methods of Shakhas to better connect with the new generation while preserving its core principles?
Wonderful, thank you. Thing is, as far as these that is young professionals can contribute meaningfully to society with leadership qualities, I have tried to say certain things. One is, a right leadership is always should be value based. All our great leaders, even during the freedom struggle, later or here. See, for example, Dr. Abdul Kalam. Why do you respect him? Just because he was President of India? But having occupied many positions, the values of life he exhibited in his life, the way he lived, the way he approached with the people, we feel that a great leadership. There are many. I am not taking names because one should not confuse. I am referring to him or not referring to somebody. I have given one example. There are many such people who, Lal Bahadur Shastri, he was Prime Minister for 18 months. Lal Bahadur Shastri's life is a great example of how in political life, even having reached this age, why he is remembered and respected. Values of life, as I said, character, unselfish service towards society and nation. And if this is not cultivated in families and education and social environment, a leadership is not a leadership. I am not telling only about the political leadership. Maybe in university, maybe in science and technology, maybe in business and industry. It is why Ratan Tata is respected. Because he has some values of life. So, anywhere, if these character coupled with values of life is the first requirement for any leadership. Second is empathy, which also is covered by the earlier one, but empathy. A leadership should have empathy. Otherwise, that leadership is not having the required virtue. The young professionals should also have this hard work. Dr. Jagadish Chandra Bose or C.V. Raman or any scientist or any industrialist of this country, they have been successful because of hard work also. Many a time, the things were almost going out of their hands because of the situation. But they stood steadfast. For that, inner strength is required. Every day I have to remember my objective. Every day I should remember that I will do this, I will not yield to the situation. If I am on the right path, I should do this work, hard work. We have to suffer. Madame Pierre Curie's great life show how she faced hardship. And ultimately radium was invented by her. So, hard work is required. Tricky things, strategies, one-upmanship, these things will not take us long. That's why hard work, empathy, character, value-based life, principles of life, these should be bedrock. Then young professionals also have to understand the updating themselves about the newer things happening in the field. Updating. They have to do that. Because of this, their personality becomes more useful to the society, then they can meaningfully contribute for society beyond their careers. This understanding of the situation around us. So these things are necessary for the young professionals. Shaka format. Yes, Shaka format is a format that is there which has yielded result. Because of Sangha Shaka method of everyday meeting, Sangha has survived. Not only survived, it is working, flourishing. Not only that, it has attracted all walks of life, all ages, people from all ages, and from all over the country. The Shaka is there in Manipur, Shaka is there in Kerala, Shaka is there in Rajasthan, Jaisalmer. That means a simple format methodology has worked and yielded result. That is why we are not saying that Shaka format has not worked. Now if somebody feels that he cannot come here, not come to Sangha Shaka because of their own other personal engagements, etc., there are things. Weekly millets we are having. And people also can, other professionals can serve the cause of the society. As I said, Swayamsevaks have created organizations. For example, if there are artists, there are tapasya is there. If there are advocates, there is Abhibhashika Parishad is there. If they are from the science background, there is Vijnana Bharati is there. Sangha Swayamsevaks have created, Bharat Vikas Parishad is there. If you are interested in charity, in seva work, the Seva Bharati is there. They are not conducting everyday Shaka. So you may not go to everyday Shaka or in the Shaka format, but if definitely you can work with the views and values of RSS for the society through those channels. So they can work. There are professionals and etc. Even young entrepreneurs, Laghu Udyog Bharati is there. Those who work in Swadesh Jagaran Manch is there. So Swayamsevaks have created these things. As I said, applied technology of RSS. That is available. They can do it. So about people who should discipline conscious values, how they can have in conflict-prone campus environments. The thing is, what RSS has done, I will tell you. What you can take it from, please you take it. RSS says that nation first. When I say nation, the whole society without any discrimination or difference. Number two, when I say nation, it's thousands of years of history and culture, whatever good has been there in our country, in our society. When I say nation, it's present and future. When I say nation, it is the people from all walks of life. nation is not only some leaders, some prominent people in some fields. Nation is there when I go out, if I see a person who is running a rickshaw or a auto rickshaw, he is also the part of nation. So can we think of nation every day, at least once? To be one with Bharat. To be one with Bharat. This at least once in a day, in 24 hours, at least 3 to 5 minutes, that I belong to this Bharat and Bharat belongs to me. I am one with that. Please try to do this at least 3 minutes in 24 hours. This is what RSS does. That is why Sangha Swayam Sevaks, though they belong to different or caste, community, etc., they have that Bharat and Bharat Mata in their heart because of this practice of RSS. So this is required for this all values, conflict prone, etc. Then the differences will vanish. Number 2, I have already told, I will repeat here. I am here, we are here because the society has contributed, played its role in creating my personality, everybody's personality. That's why I have something to pay back. At least once in a day, 1 minute, please think that I am a citizen of this country, I have something to pay back to this society. 1 minute. In 24 hours. But with all concentration. The education institution that you have built, I have not built, somebody has built. This society is living today because my forefathers have worked hard. We are having about conscious value, that constitution has come because we are a free country. For the freedom, how many people have sacrificed, given up their careers. They were sent to gallows when they were young. One Madan Lal Dhingra, one Bhagat Singh, one Chandrasekhar Azad, hundreds and hundreds. Do we owe something to them? The culture which the whole world respects, the Hindu culture. Who has created that? That is the evolution of the due to the hard work and thinking and practicing of thousands of years. My forefathers have done it. I have something to pay back to that. If we think it was 60 seconds in a day, this is the thing that we have to, all these polarized conflict society, etc., environment will go away. RSS is trying to inculcate these things in its shaka. The format, the methodology is through games, through songs, through physical exercise, so that confidence, that oneness, that duty consciousness towards society is created. So that should be done. This is what I think. Adopting format method, different methods can be. We have tried, and you can also think of that. Different method other than the Shaka format, not other than the, including the Shaka format. Shaka format will have to be there because it has yielded result. Now other methods also can come forward, not only through organizations as I have mentioned. There can be weekly gatherings, coming together and discussing and trying to do something concretely. Otherwise, only discussing and debating about society's problems will not give any result. We should decide something to do. We have to do something. Sometimes we may succeed, sometimes we may fail. but effort should go on to do something good. Only discussing is not going to yield any result. What we can do? Take up some issue, some problem, some part of the society where we can do something.
വൈഷ്ണവി വിജയറാം കോഴിക്കോട്, നിത്യശ്രീ പാലക്കാട്. രണ്ട് ചോദ്യങ്ങളാണ്. My question is, my father used to say that just as nature receives energy from the sun, as Swayamsevak receive energy from the Shakha. If Shakha is such a strong source of energy and growth, may I ask why women are not given the opportunity to participate in it? Secondly, the role of women in nation building is increasing now. Are there any specific plans to further increase the representation of women in various areas of the Sangha work and the decision-making levels?
These two questions, that is a Shaka for women, or women entry into Shaka, and role of women in the RSS happenings. How many of you want these two questions to be answered? Yes, we are also for this. Yes, we all want it. So, like this. How many? Okay, fine. Welcome. It's very good. We also want it. Now I will tell you the thing. Sangha has a similar methodology for the women which is called Rashtra Sevika Samiti. Because I think Vaishnavi Vijayam has asked her, Nityasri, one of them has asked if Shaka is such a strong source of energy and growth, may I ask why women are not given the opportunity? Women have to conduct their shakas. Please spare time. Come forward. Conduct the shakas. We will support you. Women should conduct the shakas for women. I'll tell you. Because in shaka there are physical activities. Kabaddi we play. We play many things. And many a time shaka is morning 6:30. Or 6 o'clock, evening, late night. So women have to find it easy, timing-wise, number one. And people of different ages are there together. So in the open field, men and women playing the same game is not going to work practically. So this is a simple thing. Cricket is having 11 plus 2, 13 players. You can't have 8 men and 4 women. They are not having till today. If they are going to have it tomorrow, that's a different thing. But women cricket is also there. So women chakas are there, Rashtra with the same spirit, with the same methodology. In 1936, one woman near Nagpur, she asked Dr. Hedgewar, the founder of the RSS, we also want to come. Then itself he said, you create, we'll support. And Dr. Hedgewar supported the founding of the Rashtra Sevika Samiti. Since then we have been working. So women have to work for that. If they are ready, otherwise women will come to Shaka, men will have upper hand, again we will have problem because our society does something like that. So women will be, so you have the leadership qualities are there. So, correct. There is a women shakas are there. You can definitely expand them, support it, participate in that. We give full and fullest support, whatever is required. The role of nation building women in various Sangha decisions. Sangha's decision-making body is at the state level and the all India level. There is Pratinidhi Sabha, General Council. Every year it takes place. Women representatives of various organizations, they come including Rashtra Sevika Samiti, national office bearers, attend the policy making body of the RSS. Next March, it is going to take place in Haryana. Every year it takes place in different places. There, around 25, 30, 40 women come. They participate in the decision making body of the RSS. Even in the state level, we are having the Samanvaya Baitaks, and there women come. Women should participate in these things. And Sangha has other than the Shaka format, which you asked, we are having Gatividhis, that is Go Seva, Gram Vikas, the rural development, Kutumba Prabodhan for the family training, and environmental things. These activities are also Sangha activities. Women are participating there, taking leadership roles, Pramukhs, Sanyojaks, members of the team. Women are working in all these activities of Go Seva, run by RSS. So women are participating and playing their role, even in decision making, and they are part and parcel of the RSS movement.
Achala from Kasaragod. There was a controversy in Kerala over the name change of Employment Guarantee Scheme to VBG RAM. What is the stance of the Sangh on naming government schemes? How can such controversies be prevented from being deliberately created in the society?
Government decision and the political controversies take place. The RSS is not much worried as far as the scheme is fine and it is implemented. The rose smells sweet in any name. That is what is said. But every name change has a meaning behind that, because there are certain changes in the original MNREG. In the new VBGRAM, VBGRAM, because it's Bharat thing, certain issues have been slightly altered. And more things will be there. Now, for example, agricultural labor is not included in this. Now also it is not included. There is a demand that agricultural labor for some days should be there. Some minimum working days, etc. So these things have taken place because of the government's decision. It is an administrative decision. RSS has nothing to say and no role to play. But name changing, just for changing the name, if it is there, what to say is correct. Why should we change? But changing name, because there is some, internally there are some changes from the original thing. So that is why it is changed. And if something more is there, the government has to answer. The controversy is being created by the society. Somebody should answer who has changed the name. And changing of name for the schemes, it has happened in the past also. Not only this government has done. In the past also, many governments have changed the name of the scheme or changed the scheme also. This is all administrative things. Sangha has not much to say in this. Yeah.
Vivek Lingal Palakkad. Even today, the political arena is inaccessible to the common man who is at the forefront of education. Politics is not something that is limited to them. There is no future in politics by doing honest work. Politics is considered to be a breeding ground for violence, court cases, imprisonment and corruption. Due to this, the youth are also moving away from national service activities. How can this general perception be changed and the Indian public arena achieve the political maturity envisioned by the architects of the Constitution?
By the entry of good people into politics. Once an important political person who is now alive, I am not taking his name, he once told, the people who are passing or not passing, or who are third class marks they have gained in they become political leaders, and the first class people become IAS officers under them. Do you understand what I say? So, the people who are having some ideas, commitment to some cause, they should enter into politics, nothing wrong. But having gone there, they should remain clean. Because people who enter into politics with some great ideals, after some time they also get changed, because the virus in politics is such. It enters into him also or her also. So, cleansing of our politics is possible because of good people entering into politics. People may have differences about the policy matters, but today's Prime Minister, or Atal Bihari Vajpayee, or as I said, Lal Bahadur Shastri, they are one in politics. And there are some great names. I will tell you. Even once Tripura Chief Minister, who was from CPM, Nripen Chakravarti, I take the name. Great person. Political ideology wise, I may not agree with him. He is from the Marxist party. But about Nripen Chakravarti, people have great respect because the politics he played, the personal life he led, was of high order. That is why in politics, good people, if they enter and their leadership is grown, we can cleanse the politics. We should. Because India's politics should not get deteriorated because of the bad mouth, bad practices, bad language, and other vices like corruption, Gundaism. This is not the politics that our great people have manifested and developed in the past. Our public life was having great stars. This should be followed. And I appeal every political party should do. If you ask me whether this political party, no. The politics has this bad virus, entire political arena. So that should be cleansed. Good people should enter. And after entering there, you should get your team and clean the politics, remain clean. It is not easy. So it is hard work. Uphill task. One should try. So there is no magic wand to do something. But there are certain things. For example, election rules. T.N. Sheshan, he changed some rules in the election. So electoral malpractices can be controlled because of certain rules. For example, right to information. So because of that, the transparency increases in administration. Thereby, politics is also has a check on that. So there should be some such mechanism created by the constitutional and legal point of view. It should be done. And there should be citizen councils to create awareness, to check the bad politics. So we should do that. The media is one area where media should also do. Unfortunately, many a time, some section of media is also encouraging such politics, directly or indirectly. Media is a strong thing which can control the bad things in politics. That is why media has played that role. So these things are, if the enlightened citizens can come together and do it, we can clean the politics, and it should be done.
Ganesh Bellur, Kasaragod. What is the secret behind every volunteer accepting and implementing the decisions and programs taken by the Sangh over the past 100 years? And is it possible to transform the next generation who are slaves to a career-oriented life and have set aside Indian values in a competitive world into this kind of volunteer?
It is possible. The secret of R.S.S. I have already told. Secret of R.S.S., as you said, that implementing decisions program taken by the Sangh, every volunteer, every Swayamsevak does. Yes, because Sangh works as a family. That is why I said, the spirit-wise, Sangh is a family. Structure-wise, Sangh is an organization. And the role-wise, Sangha is a movement today. So that's why it is like a family So that spirit, it transmits into every part of the family. So that is why also MCOs behave like that. The methodology I said during my presentation, the Sangha methodology is same all over the country, but with the local specialities. We have given elbow space for the local variety and local speciality of the Sangha, because uniformity is not possible in our society. Minimum uniformity in Sangha and most space for the local understanding and local practices. This combination works, and the spirit of family should be there. Our organization has developed this spirit of family and allowing local varieties and personal contact with the maximum number of Swayamsevaks at every level, taking care of informally, personally, the minds of the Swayamsevaks, understanding them. So that is why there is no hierarchy in RSS. RSS cadre behaves like a family. So that has worked. Whether it is possible in today? Yes, it is possible. Because I feel the today's generation also needs this without hierarchy, people who say and do the same thing. The present day generation doesn't want you say something, preach something, practice something else. The present day generation doesn't accept it. So that is why the RSS, as long as it preaches and practices the same thing, and that without hierarchy, a family environment is there, and the people who work hard are appreciated, recognized, promoted, supported, these things are necessary. So the RSS has that. That is why even today, the people who are career-oriented, etc. Only thing is, for the people who are career-oriented and in today's challenges of life, availability of time, because of distance, because of pressures of life, because of demands of life. So quality time has to be given to two things. One to family and one to society through RSS. Quality time has to be given. So time management has to be learnt. Today's generation is having more pressure and less time, as I have already told in the paradox of time of Dalai Lama. And in the olden times, when we came to Sangha or Gopal Mallarji, we were having more time and less pressure in society. Today, it is slightly changed. So availability of time has to be managed.
Omnath CP, Kannur. As an entrepreneur, I see that many young people today have degrees and technical skills, but they often lack basic job readiness such as work discipline, responsibility, teamwork and adaptability. Many employers, including myself, notice this gap, especially among middle class youth. While the government is focusing a lot on skill development, I wanted to ask, what is the Sangh inspired doing to address this gap between having skills and being employable? And how can employers and entrepreneurs like us support these efforts and better prepare young people for the world of work?
Wonderful. This is the right thing, right approach. I appreciate you for raising this issue. Swadeshi Jagran Manch has created one Swabhiman Bharatiya movement. Swabhiman Bharat. That is, we have to do this, as you said, the technical requirements for doing the work is one thing, having technical skills, degree, certificate, recognition, etc. Government support, bank support, all those things are required for any enterprise. But those things are requirements at the physical level. But for success, as you said, other virtues and qualities of the person or the team of persons, they have to be underlined and they have to be taught. So that's why IIIT in Hyderabad, for example, they have included human values as part of the engineering curriculum. Engineering curriculum, you study some engineering, some branch. Okay, fine. But you should also study and get yourself ready to become an entrepreneur, an industrialist, or a professional with these qualities and virtues which you have mentioned in your question. So those things are teamwork, adaptability, discipline, values of life. These also should be taught. Triple IT has framed a curriculum, a course material for this, part of the engineering. So this should be part and parcel of all our education system also. So if we do that, a teacher, for example, it is not that he has a degree, MSc, PhD, and he teaches. A teacher requires some additional quality to deal with the students, to take a class, to inspire them. A teacher has that. It is not only subject knowledge, it is the personality that makes him a teacher. So these qualities can be imbibed through some orientation, regulation, one thing. Second thing is, they can be cultivated because of the social interaction. People who are only going to colleges and visiting Google and trying to answer the questions and taking some lab work, etc., they become graduates. But social interaction is required. In our first education report prepared by Dr. Kothari, he specially mentioned that education without the social understanding and the environmental interaction with the surroundings is incomplete education. That's why every student should have this social interaction and understanding of the environment where he or she is living. That's why we should take out. It is a part of the curriculum work. We should make it. Because as I said, empathy, hard work, compassion, discipline, time management, teamwork, these things can be cultivated because of such arrangements and mechanisms that is created as part of the course or the curriculum. That should be done. And tasks have to be given to the students to do this. And they can come out with wonderful results, I am confident. So this should be done. And Swadeshi Jagaraman's Swabhiman Bharat Abhiyan has discussed this. That is not only skill training, but also value input, personality training, along with the skill training.
Shashwati Shekhar, Kozhikode. How do you see Bharat's intellectual traditions influencing global dialogues today?
I have touched upon the India's narrative, and that is that answers this. Bharat's intellectual tradition has been in the modern times during the last 100 years. Bharat's intellectual tradition has been in a way strengthened, and it has been explained by Swami Ramatirtha, Ramakrishna, Maharshi Aurobindo, Vivekananda, and many others in the entire country. The intellectual tradition. And in the later times, Sri Ram Swarup and Sitaram Goyal and such luminaries have explained the intellectual tradition of land. There are many names, I have mentioned only a few. And this has given a new understanding in the new light about our age-old values and civilizational understanding and philosophy of life, creation, etc. So this intellectual tradition, for example, Anand Kumar Swami. How many of you have heard this name, Anand Kumar Swami? Please raise your hand. Nobody. one or two. Anand Kumar Swami was a great thinker who had the great understanding of art, culture and philosophy of India. He is from Sri Lanka. The man is from Sri Lanka, Anand Kumar Kentish Kumar Swami. And his contribution is unknown. People who study arts and fine arts, they also do not know Anand Kumar Swami. But the work he has done is totally forgotten because no textbook, no think tank, nobody refers. But number of books are there in many libraries. Even in Kerala, in many libraries, Anand Kumar Swami may be found, I am sure. Why I have told this? Because the intellectual tradition of our land is, in a natural way, it is forgotten sometimes because of other pressures. And also there has been a very calculated conspiracy to erase those memories and to create something new narrative. That is the conspiracy. As it has happened. I am not telling this out of nothing. There has been a calculated conspiracy to erase these things so that the Western idea of the intellectual tradition of the European Renaissance and thereby the things that born out of that has been imposed through our modern day thought currents. So that's why these things will have to be resuscitated, revived and retold. They have to be explained to people. So that has to be done to create India's narrative. Many think tanks today are doing it. Many people are publishing books. Voice of India, like people are publishing. Puducherry's, Pondicherry's ashram is publishing. Krishna Ashram has also published certain things. The revival of this India's intellectual, Bharat's intellectual tradition has to be made connected to the present day, number one, and influencing global dialogues. Now, there are think tanks. For example, there is a sustainability organization, a think tank in London. And there is the Dharma Conference and Dharma Foundation, Dharma and Culture Foundation, DCF, in USA. So these think tanks are people who are spreading the Bharat's intellectual tradition for the global and international forum. So subjects are being introduced in many universities. Chairs have to be established. What China has done, China did establish chairs in many prominent universities in the world to teach about Chinese ideology and Chinese tradition like Confucius, etc., etc. So Bharat also has to create chairs in various universities and send think tanks. So they send members to think tanks. And internationally, people who are Bharat origin, they have to create such mechanisms like sustainability, DCF, as I said, Dharma Culture Foundation. Such things are also happening. So this should be encouraged. Then we will be able to interact with the global audience and also influence the global dialogues. That is possible. Because there are people now, well-meaning people are now coming up in this field. So I think the demands of the time is more and more people have to study this, understand this, contribute in content creation.
Dr. Mithuna, Wayanadu. Why do the young people prefer to work abroad rather than in our own country?
How many of you are of this mind? You want to work abroad rather than in our country? Please raise your hands. So some people are there. Some people may not be raising hands because others will see. I don't know. How many have already been in some other country for your education, etc., and returned? So I think if I personally ask you or you discuss, you must have thought that working in India is necessary and better compared to the environment and situation outside India. We think Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, whole world is one family. For humanity's sake, you can work anywhere with a great Hindu worldview and cultural base, because that is necessary for the humanity. But at the same time, if somebody is wanting only for the career sake, they want to prefer to go to abroad. See, if somebody is going abroad, is not a sin or not an offense. And if they want to study. But being there, three things one has to remember and practice. One, how one is a person. As a person, how I am anywhere in the world. As a human being, as a person from Hindu origin, how I am. So that should be perfect. Second, or we should try to be perfect. Second, how I can contribute to Bharat, wherever I am. Number three, if I am living in some country, that country is giving me food, education, livelihood, etc. So I have some duty to that host society also. I can't only just earn my livelihood and blame them for 100 things. Because you are earning there, you are living there, they have supported you. And we feel that the world is one family. So let us spread our goodness. Let us win them by our behavior. And respect them for their good qualities. Be loyal to that society and country. That is the real Hindu worldview, Hindu-ness. So these three things, personal, for nation, and for the host society.
Dr. Shyama Shashi, Kozhikode. How can R.S.S. expand its educational and training programs in Kerala to help youth to resist negative influences and build strong cultural foundations?
The Sangha is trying to do it. R.S.S. is expanding. This is one way of doing it. We are addressing, we are interacting with you all, trying to tell you what R.S.S. is. So people like you have to spread the message, participate in whatever way you can, by attending Shaka or doing some other work or doing any good work. The principle is what I have already explained. The educational and training program in Kerala is already, we are conducting so much. More can be done by, if the more people, the negative influences, what are the negative influences? I don't know what you mean, negative influences. Negative influences are there. One thing is against the Hindu society, Hindu dharma, Hindu culture. There are some negative things happening. Conversion is taking place in different parts of the country, also in Kerala. So negative influence of many things are there to weaken Hindu society. And negative influence of going against a principles, values and virtues of life. Characterlessness, immorality. These are the negative trends in society. So for that, the panacea is one has to set example by one's own life and create such good people. I already told the power of the good. So R.S.S. wants to expand its work, and it is expanding. We have gone house to house during the centenary year to spread the message of this house contact. Lakhs of families have been contacted. It will be around 25 crores in the whole country by end of March. We are meeting people. The expansion is going on. Training according to the needs, requirements of the age group, of background, etc., we will do that. We have been doing. Okay.
Abhinandan Payyanur. Reservation is always a hot topic in India. What is R.S.'s stance on this issue?
Reservation is of three kinds. One is reservation in education, reservation in government jobs, and reservation in elections. I don't know which reservation you speak of. You may be speaking of all the three. Fine. It is a constitutional provision that is made because of the affirmative action that is required in this country because of the historic needs. Social justice is the goal. And social justice is to be attained because certain things were practiced in the past. The society, some section of society have suffered. That is why the society should make it good. The reservation system or reservation policy has been introduced or thought of not by the people who only suffered because of this, because of discrimination, because of inequality. People who are scholars, who had the great interest of society and nation at heart. Our constitutional, the founding fathers of the constitution, all were not people who were from the reserved category. They were all forward community people. They also suggested that there should be such a thing. Why? Swami Vivekananda once said, there was not even independence in 1902. But he said, in our society, people who have suffered, who have been downtrodden, he has said, the underdogs, he said, the words he has used. There should be some special provision for education and other things for them. The society should do this. This Vivekananda also told. That means this affirmative action, positive discrimination in the form of reservation is required. It should not be misused. Politicization of the reservation is bad. A limit has to be there for certain percentage. Creamy layer thing can be included so that the same one family gets second, next generation, the same family is getting the benefit. It can be changed. The family can be changed, the community can continue, but the same family getting the benefits again and again should be, there should be some reform on this. So that's why reservation is a historic necessity. Implementation should be on these basis. This is R.S.'s view.
Devananda K.V. Kasaragod. What advice would you give to students facing confusion about career, identity and purpose?
I have already said about it. Career, identity and purpose, there should not be confusion because the education has created these things and outside world, including social media. So if there is confusion, what you should do? You should go to a guru. It may be your mother, it may be your father, it may be some teacher in the school or college, it may be your friend, it may be somebody in the society. If there is confusion, you have to clear the confusion. How do you clear? Either your own introspection. Do something, dhyan. Enter inside yourself. See where you have to do and what is your purpose of life. How you can do, what are your strengths and weaknesses. You contemplate. Second, find a guru. Find a friend. Find a guardian who can advise you properly because your personality is known to that person. So you discuss with them. Not once, maybe repeatedly. So in Bhagavad Gita it says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. The three things have to be done for the seeker. One, to respect the person who knows, who has experience, who can guide. Tadvidhi pranipatena. Pariprashnena. Repeatedly discussing, asking questions, seeking answers. Try to discuss, debate. Sevaya. That means to be humble in front of the person who is having experience and knowledge. So if you do that, pranipatena pariprashnena seveya, this confusion will be cleared.
Dr. Yadu Krishna Trishur, I would like to ask whether the Kerala Sangh can extend support to small entrepreneurs by formulating plans or initiatives so that our Swayamsevaks engaged in entrepreneurship can receive guidance and assistance to strengthen and expand their business.
RSS cannot do directly, but Swayamsevaks who are engaged in this can definitely approach some of the organizations and forum that is created by Swayamsevaks, like Laghu Udyog Bharati or Bharat Vikas Parishad, Seva Bharati, etc. Some such thing for the initiatives, not financial, but other support to entrepreneurs, some forum cell can be created by these organizations. As I said, Swadesh Jagan Manch, Grak Panchayat and Laghu Udyog Bharati, Bharat Vikas Parishad, coming together, they can form one thing. Swadesh Jagan Manch did something of this kind 2 years back, but they have not been able to continue it for some organizational issues. Proper person should be there. So Swayamsevak engaged in entrepreneurship can get guidance and assistance. There can be some legal guidance, there can be some administrative things, there can be some other help that can be definitely created. I request these organizations in Kerala to create a forum for assisting Swayamsevaks who are into this, if it is not already there.
Surya Malappuram. A national education system based on the national education policy is being implemented in Vidya Bharati schools, but it has not been fully adopted in government, aided and unaided schools across India, including Kerala. Considering challenges such as teacher training, regional diversity, language, use of technology, and the role of the communities, what practical solutions can help in effective and uniform implementation of educational reforms across states?
Yes. There is some politics behind this by some states, because they have the political differences. Although it was accepted when the NEP was implemented in 2020 July, all the political parties and stakeholders were taken on board. With the consultation and involvement of all these people, NEP was adopted by this government of India. Now they are finding some fault in that. With the participation, with the one opinion, with the consensus, NEP was adopted. And now they don't want to. See, every government has a policy, even in the past. If you go on opposing any policy, anything, just because of the politics, then nothing can be done. Politics is being played, and the education will suffer. The future generation will suffer. So that is why there has to be some consensus among the political parties also about these things. And it was already created. For the national education policy, right from Panchayat level, opinions were elicited, and 8,000 pages were created. Then the policy was discussed by all sections of the society. Dr. Kasturi Rangan, who was heading the team to create this new education policy, they went around the country, met all people, different sects, Jains, Sikhs, Bauds, communities, education institutions, political parties, citizens, all have contributed. See, this is a vast country. This is with so much diversity. How one policy can include everything? But they did something. It was accepted. And state has concurrent list, and state has some role, and they can implement certain things. But if you go on opposing it just because of politics, it has to be implemented by the government through some other means. And society, citizens also should raise their voice. If it is a good policy, why you are not opposing? Why you are opposing? People should ask. So it has to be uniformly implemented. That is the whole purpose. But some political parties and governments are playing politics. So that has to stop. Then this is possible. And if they are going to give a better policy than this, let them give. And we have seen what they have given for last 60, 70 years. If they had given the best policy, why such a situation would have arisen? So you have not been able to do it. Now the people have given a mandate. And the policy was discussed on the basis of consensus. So now accept it and implement it. If you go on creating problems, this will happen. So implementation, this role of it is to raise the voice in support of the policy. Then it can help effective and uniform implementation of education reform across the states. It is possible. The challenges are diversity, the language, etc. They have been addressed. Use of technology, all these things are addressed. See, any pedagogy system, any education system, in the diverse society like India, language, use of technology, or regional requirements and diversity, these things are always there. That is a certain core curriculum has been given and the core policy. There is some elbow space to, while implementing it in the state, they can do it. India's oneness also should be underlined and the diversity should be taken into consideration. See, you have to work with some wisdom, some approach to these things. Otherwise, see, for example, Constitution of India. The whole country should accept. Why? There is so much of diversity. Because Constitution has underlined the unity and diversity is taken into consideration. Likewise, a policy on education. So, this is possible. It is not a difficult thing. But the people who are in the field of education should do it. Other politicians should stop talking about it. Because educationists can do that. And they have done it. And politicians can give their opinion, not put impediments. Yes.
Gogulnath Trishur and Ajit KG Trishur. Lengthy question here. Three questions.
Goes on and on and on.
In Sanatan Dharma,
I will answer this because Sri Gokulnath Trishurji and Ajit KG Trishur, are you present here?
please raise.
Are they present here?
Is there.
One is there? Okay.
Second one is also there. On the
Upstairs. Sorry. Okay, fine, thank you. Thing is, instead of reading, the thing is he has asked about the Dakshinachara and Vamachara in Shakti Puja, etc. are there. And some Dakshinachara temples, etc. They are Vamachara temples are also there, which is Shakti Puja. You should not impose certain things which in the name of religion and Hindu rituals to convert the tendency of those things. I totally agree. The tradition of a temple of the religious practices and rituals, they should be maintained. In the name of oneness, we should not trample on these diversities. If there is Shakti Puja, Kali Puja, etc. are there, okay, Kerala, Orissa, Bengal, you have told. See, it is not, whole state is like that. Some people are there in every part. More are there in some part. Fine, good, no problem. So that is why these diversities are the fragrance of Hindu culture. We should accept them. And they are practicing it. Unnecessarily imposing somebody's rituals, somebody. If Shaivas are practicing something, Vaishnava is telling Vaishnava is the right thing and Shaiva is wrong. That's why you change it. No. In our country, the king was Vaishnava and the queen was Shaiva, and they have lived together, sirs. There is no question. And such things have happened. In the same house, there can be people who are having different rituals and approaches religiously. Fine. It's all practice. So that's why unnecessarily imposing Dakshinachara and Vamachara, etc., these are all not correct. The religious leaders also should convince and persuade the people to retain, protect and promote the thing. Only thing is, nothing against nature, human being should happen. So nature and human being environment in the modern times, we should take them into consideration. Just in the name of ritual, you should not disturb other things. Otherwise, these unnecessarily imposing something on the other, it is not correct. And in Indian belief system, religiosity is too much within the Hindu framework. How does the Sangha observe and assess this phenomenon? And what? See, Sangha is not entering into these religious things and debates. That arena is left to people who are religious leaders. Those who know about temple systems, Tantra Vidya, and Dharma Sukshmas, Agama Paddhatis, these are all the specialized areas. Sangha is not going to comment on these things because it is not our expertise. Only we say the core thing in those things are for the benefit of the humankind, for the benefit of nature. If there is anything that divides people and disturbs nature, those things should be corrected. Human being is the foremost. For the evolution of human beings, all these things have been developed, practiced and evolved. So ultimately it is the human being who should be evolved as a better human being. So rituals, etc., there are various systems and practices, they have a tradition. Suddenly somebody commenting on that, like me from the Sangha side, we don't accept it. Because people have studied that for years. There may be some truths, there may be some facts, there may be some requirements. So all these areas, Sangha is not going to say anything. Too much religiosity, that's why we say. Sangha says one thing. You are immersed in religiosity and forgetting nation is a danger. That is why religion may be practiced by everybody according to their needs without disturbing others, number one. Number two, while you are immersed in practicing your religion, please don't forget the larger nation and its interest. If the nation survives, flourishes, then your religion can do something. Otherwise the nation will go, religion will also go. This is what R.S.S. says. Rashtra Dharma is the basic thing. And Anachara, Durachara, etc., I have already answered it. And to what extent such practice diverge before they become problems? See, some people stretch too much certain things. It is like, see, for example, if I am practicing some medicinal system, some XYZ, I don't take names. I think this is the only way for all the things because I am committed to that. This only way is anti-Hindu. Also way is the Hindu. Your thinking is also, your religion, your ritual or your practice is also has some goodness. Mine has also something. Mine is the only way. Your way is wrong. It is not Hindu way. This is what R.S.S. says.
Gayatri Kozhikode. How challenging is nation building in today's context and what strategies has the R.S.S. adopted to today's context?
Yes, nation building today is not only, it is not a challenge, it is a requirement. Nation building for any society is a continuous thing because nations evolve. And nation building means what? Nation building is making people more evolved. There was one Manvendranath Rai, M.N. Roy, who propounded the theory of radical humanism. Humanism. And Manvendranath Rai, he once told, the rise of a nation can be measured by the level of the consciousness of the ordinary people. To raise the level of consciousness, understanding, awareness, inside and out, awareness of duty, awareness of personality, awareness of everything, to consciousness, chetana. And the level of consciousness, it has to be raised. Among whom? Among ordinary beings also in a society, not only educated people and scholars. That is why M.N. Roy said, raising the level of consciousness among the ordinary people is the way for nation building. So this level of consciousness has to be raised. It is not a challenge, it is a requirement. It will be challenged because there are many pressures and requirements for the ordinary people in everyday life. Because there are pressures. Some time has to be taken out. That is why R.S.S. says, give a little time, give a little of your earning towards society as Runa, Samaj Runa. It is how strategy is adopted by God. This is the way R.S.S. adopted only one strategy. Live for Rashtra Dharma. That is the principle, that is the strategy, that is the philosophy. And that can be done in my life wherever I am, with my own humble way. That spirit has to be kindled. And in today's context or tomorrow's context, this is the only way. There is no other way.
Vaishak Kotodi, Kasaragod. It's a lengthy one. Sangh has constantly maintained the Bharat.
About Akhand Bharat. Okay.
An undivided cultural and geographical reality based on shared ancestry and Samskriti. However, the territories that form this vision, such as Pakistan and Bangladesh, are now sovereign nations with their own constitutions, militaries, and global recognition. Furthermore, these nations contain hundreds of millions of people who have been raised on an ideology often directly opposed to Hindutva and the Bharatiya identity, a mindset that has historically led to severe crimes and systemic discrimination against Hindus. My question is, given this deep-seated ideological hostility and the current legal sovereignty of these nations, how does the Sangh realistically plan to reconcile the cultural Akhand Bharat vision with the practical danger in integrating a majority population that may not only reject Bharatiya values but may actively work to destabilize them? Is there a concrete roadmap for this transformation of mindset before any talk of territorial or emotional unity?
Vision with the practical danger of integrating a majority population that may not only reject Bharat. Thing is, see, when R.S.S. says Akhand Bharat, yes, before 1947 August, the situation was there. That's how it can be done. All these things we have to see from the historic perspectives and present day realities. First thing is, you have said they have become independent nations. No, they are nation states. Nation and nation state are different. Because one has constitution and an army and a currency, they have become nation states in the modern Western idea. And India is also a nation state. That's why repeatedly I was telling Bharat, Bharat. Bharat nation and India state, they are not one and the same. Indian state is a nation state of the modern political understanding. Because of geopolitics of the world, the Western world has created this nation state concept and we are all there. That is why there is United Nation Organization, which is in fact United Nations State Organization. It is not United Nations Organization. It is called United Nations Organization, UNO. Nation state are there and they are members. The nation state, that is why in Malayalam there is a really a very fine thing in Malayalam language. For all the countries in the world, what is the word you use in Malayalam? You use in Hindi and Kannada, all deshas of the world. दुनिया के सभी देश कहते हैं. What do you say in Malayalam? Ella rajyagal. So why do you say rajya? Rajya is state, samsthanam. So rajya, the word, clearly indicates in Malayalam that it is a nation state. Because they are all having constitution, separate passport, separate currency, that is why you call it Rajya, perfectly well. Malayalam language term, Rajya for all the countries you use. That is why Pakistan, Bangladesh have become Rajya. They have not become nation. Nation is Rashtra. Rashtra is something different. So, that has to be akhanda. That has to be one. Even Aurobindo said, on 15th August, he made a statement in 1947. Today, India has become freedom. But the artificial division that is created, will have to go, will go one day or the other. Maharishi Aurobindo's prophecy. Some may believe, may not believe. That is a different thing. Now, the second thing. Whether such things do happen or not, 1945, Germany was divided. 1946. East Germany and West Germany. They pursued two different political ideologies. The West Germany was a democratic country. The East Germany was not non-democratic country. In 1989, the unification of Germany has taken place. Why? Because they were one nation. They had different political ideologies. The people, with their own hands, they demolished the wall created in Berlin. An artificial wall was created. And the wall was destroyed by the people. There were two Vietnams, North and South. And this division was created because of the world powers. And America and Soviet Russia have created war between North Vietnam and South Vietnam for their selfish purpose. And war was fought in the land of Vietnam, and Vietnamese youth were suffering. And the youth of North Vietnam and South Vietnam, they understood that this mechanization should go. And North and South Vietnam, they came together, and today Vietnam is one nation. They are not two states today. This is history. It has happened in last 100 years. Friends, nations' maps keep changing. You should not think that it is permanent, whatever is there today. It can change. If not this generation, tomorrow generation will do. Nation states are not permanent. Nations are permanent. The present day perspective. Now today, as you said rightly, because the people who are here, they have created that as Islamic state, a theocratic state. Bharat is not a theocratic state. So that's why a theocratic state has been created because of the religion practiced by the people there. And what has happened? Hindus have come down to the percentage, one in Pakistan, who were more percentage in 1947. Where they have gone? Bangladesh, same thing has happened. The world is closing its eyes. The threat is enveloping different parts of the world, not only Pakistan and Bangladesh. It is a threat in our country also, because change of religion has given rise to change of nationality. And that is the problem. And it should not happen. Indonesian people, they changed their religion some 100 years ago. The people of Indonesia say, we have changed our religion, but not our nationality, not our forefathers. Our forefathers are same, our nationality is same. We have changed our religion. That is why their culture they have retained, religion they have changed. But in neighboring countries, Pakistan and Bangladesh, after creating the Islamic State there, they have tried to wipe out everything that is symbolic. Otherwise, why in Pakistan Panini is erased? Why they are not telling about 5,000 years history of their civilization thing? So this is the thing, wiping out of the cultural memories because they have changed the religion. The change of religion will yield to change of nationalism because of the Semitic religions. In Africa, the churches converted the local people. The African people are today telling, see, you have changed our culture and our identity. First you asked us to change the religion. We accepted your religion. But you have changed our identity also, our culture also. So now there is an awareness in many African countries about this. We have to understand this. So in this perspective, Akhand Bharat is going to be a reality, but it will happen when the realization of their cultural roots will take place in Pakistan and Bangladesh. Whenever these parts come together and the Indian nation, once again that nation is created as Akhand Bharat, it will not happen with the same people, with the same religious practice. As long as it is there, it will not be Akhand Bharat. When that is changed, then it will take place. So that is why, by military effort, you can't unite these three states, India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, and declare Akhand Bharat. R.S.S. is not saying that. It has to happen because the people's awareness, cultural roots, they should understand. When they understand as a mass, then only it will happen. We will try for that, to create that understanding, that awareness, that cultural memory should be revived. These things will happen because of efforts of the human beings. Number one, because of the situation. Number two, because of geopolitical pressures. And geopolitical pressures can create anything. It can happen. But we should have that dream. We should try to do that. But today it may not happen. Next generation it may happen. Let us wait.
We have two questions to finish and I can read it together. Revant Payyannur and Vishnu Prakash Kozhikode. Is the idea of Hindutva put forward by Savarkar and the Hindutva represented by the Sangh the same? If not, what is the difference? Secondly, how does the R.S.S. view the rapid transformations taking place in the fields of artificial intelligence, technology and information technology? In the midst of these changes, what responsibilities do the youth have in preserving Bharatiya values?
In my earlier thing about Akhand Bharat, I wanted to say one more thing. Then I will answer this. I will take one more minute in that. Sri Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia and Deen Dayal Upadhyaya. One was a leader of the socialist party of those days, and Deen Dayal Upadhyaya was a Janasangha leader. These two came together and they made a public statement about the Akhand Bharat. Both agreed that it should happen. That was in 1967, 66, 67. In 68, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya died. So it was 2 years before his death. So the thing is, they made a joint statement that there should be a confederation of the Indian Peninsula. Indian Peninsula comprises of India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. And today's SAARC country also can be taken like Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, etc. So Indian Peninsula, there should be a confederation, there should be unity, there should be a mechanism, like ASEAN, like SAARC. In 1960s they said. SAARC was created in 1972, later on. So the purpose is how we can have Akhand Bharat. Pakistan, Bangladesh is coming to it. We should have, they suggested, to begin with, the common currency. Like today, euro is there for Europe. Common currency. Second thing is they said we can have one army instead of 3 armies. 3, free communication. Trains will go, come, communications, free communication. Today, Nepal and India, no passport is required. We are having. So they had suggested these 3 areas can be tried in the beginning, a mechanism. But they can have their government. Like Nepal is having a government, we are having government. Autonomous, independent, sovereign. So this they suggested. To begin with, we should do that. Slowly, trains were created. Atal Bihari Vajpayee also thought a bus from Amritsar to Lahore. All these things have been tried. But these things have not been successful because of the mentality of the governments and militaries in those 2 countries. So, great minds have thought of these things. Let us wait. And it will happen. If not in your life, in your next generation's life. Hindutva put forward by Savarkar and Hindutva represented by Sanghav. Many are same. It is not something different. The root is same. The basic principle is same. The identity of India's society, Bharat Samaj ka identity, Samaj ki identity, is Hindu. That's why Hindutva. The principles of Hindutva, Savarkar and R.S.S., no difference. Savarkar emphasized more on political ideas of and political influence of Hindutva. His emphasis. And he was leading a party, Hindu Mahasabha, a political party. Hindutva's expression in manifestation in the nation's politics was his priority. That is why he said Hindu is politics, militarize Hindus. This is what Savarkar told. The RSS emphasis is on the cultural life of our country, Bharat. The Hindutva as propounded and propagated by the RSS is the cultural values, the cultural identity of Bharat. We are not laying emphasis on the political Hindutva, but on the cultural Hindutva. This is the slight difference between what Savarkar has said and RSS is emphasizing. Basic principles are same. And the final one. How does RSS view the rapid transition? I have already answered this. See, in technology, information in the minds of all these things, see for example a technology. A technology advancement will always be there in any civilization. Now thing is, technology should take care of 3 things. Technology is evolved and technology is applied in many things. Ecology, economy and ethics. These 3 aspects should be considered before implementing a technology or applying a technology. When we use a technology, how it is going to benefit the economic aspect of our lives. Second, how it is going to affect, disturb or promote ecology. A technology which is going to disturb ecology or environmental situations, that technology has to be stopped or it has to be reduced. because of use of technology, there is a craving for technology. But if it is going to affect our ecology, technology is human-made because of the brain and physics and other things which are in nature. But ecology is not human-made. Ecology is there. You can only support and promote. That's why ecology has to be taken into consideration while using and applying technology. Third is ethics. Human values have been created over a period of hundreds and thousands of years. Those ethical orders are beneficial for the human evolution. Technology should not disturb the ethics of human life. I will give one example. Cloning is there. Cloning, you can clone anything, anybody, any. But if cloning, human cloning takes place, ethically it is dangerous. So that's why economy, ecology, and ethics. These three things should be considered. Economy. If the technology is going to replace human beings will not have work. Human requires work for the body and the mind. If I ask you to sit in a room, I will provide you everything, 3 times food, everything, but in the room, don't work. Don't do anything. Human body requires work. Our indriyas, our senses, they require work. Our jnanendriya and karmendriya. Technology should not replace it. It can help it, it can promote it, it can make it easier. I have to walk from here to Mangalore. It is difficult, so I use the technology, a motor, and go there. It can help me. But technology should not stop other things. Secondly, technology should not take away the work, thereby employment, thereby generation, the revenue earning. The automation, over-automation, has sent out all the labor from the factories. So automation will definitely create joblessness. Either the technology should create new jobs. If it stops one job, it will create 2 more jobs. If you cut one tree, you should plant 2 more trees. Then only jungle will be there. Likewise, technology should not stop the employment or work creation. If it does, on the other hand, it should create. Such technology should be accepted. That is economy. So this is to be about the technology, artificial intelligence, everything. So that is why these things have to be understood in the perspective of culture and dharma. And dharma and culture perspective with a philosophical view or the spiritual understanding will create the necessary atmosphere for preserving Bharatiya values. That is why the youth have to understand, as somebody said, the Bharatiya intellectual tradition, India's contribution to our own society and to the humanity. And these things are essential if the society is confident and vibrant. Society is awakened and united. These things can be done in a very positive atmosphere. So this has to be discussed, taught to youth. We have to study this, and this is the responsibility. Civilizational journey goes on. The new demands of our civilization will be there. So that is why we have to find ways and means for the evolution of the next step of the civilization. Because technology you can't stop, but you have to channelize. You can't say that the same old undivided joint family should be there today. It is not happening because of demands of time and pressures of time, realities of times. Then the family values, how it can be retained? In the nucleus families also, family values can be retained by mutual love, affection, trust. If that is disturbed, then the families collapse. So that is why in the new order, as the civilizational journey progresses, the younger minds will have to address these things. That is why on one side, we have to study technology. We have to study the secrets of nature. We have to utilize those things for the betterment of human life without disturbing nature's balance. But on the other side, as has been repeatedly told by all great masters, people who are also very keen on the side of values and principles of life, human oneness, the soul's evolution and elevation, these things are also important. Otherwise, only worldly pleasure because of technology and wealth will lead to artha and kama. Artha and kama are required. We should enjoy. But dharma and the principles of dharma should be studied, should be understood, should be applied while enjoying artha and kama. And that is to be taught, to be told, to be inculcated, to be imbibed, to be evolved, to be discussed. And the new generation is capable of doing it eminently. Only thing is, it has to be shown and guided that this is there. And I hope the youngsters who are here in this assembly are ready to take it up in their lives. So this is how Bharat can address its own problems and issues and also lead the humankind on the right path. Thank you very much. Namaskar.